one represents the father is the sun, and the one that represents the mother is the corn. It's the biggest you can go in our tradition. The sun provides the light and allows life to be flourishing on earth, but the corn, which is known as Tateini Wetukame, represents what nurtures us as we become older, because Mexican tradition is based on corn. So here the corn represents the mother with two of her children. That's why she's like creating two babies in her roots, representing the fact that she's gonna be giving birth to two females, in this case representing your daughters. Here, as we said, is Takutsi Nakawe. There she only represents creation and blessing. It's only the times when she wears a mask that has a beer on it that she represents destruction. There's this picture right here that talks about Takutsi Nakawe, and here you can see she's got beer. When she wears that mask that has a beer on it, it's when you don't want to be close or around with her. In this particular piece, she's representing the springs, you know, the life, the beginning of a life, also the fact that the flowers are blooming, that we live in an abundant earth. And in this case here again, you know, it's a representation of Takutsi Nakawe, bringing all the rain, you know, and kind of starting like the beginning of a new life. So that symbol is very powerful on our tradition. And the only time that it manifested to me, which is a grandmother, in my dream, I was paralyzed by the huge force that she carries. It has the two faces on each side representing the female, the male, in this case both of you, that unite to create life. That's why it's represented here. These offerings is the gorbo from the sacred sites, is the harvest of the corn, is the medicine that it's used through ceremony. 4 candles representing the 4 members of the family, and the light to be providing the light on your path. Again, there's many ways I'm representing your daughters. As the butterfly, as the 2 jaguars, there's the 2 baby owls, there's you guys. The owls are a very important symbol to be used as a family, unity, loyalty, and wisdom, because owls, they have their children, the children are raised, and they eventually leave, but they keep coming back to visit their families. And the owls as a couple are monogamous. They stay with the same couple forever, and if one dies, they still choose alone, but the family members keep coming back to visit them. They live up to 60 years. The 2 fireflies, the 2 fireflies also representing your 2 daughters. In this case, the guardian of the sun represents the masculine essence, so it represents a father. The father, you know, caretaking, you know, the 2 babies. It represents more of a mythical snake that came to me on a dream as I was making this piece, so I had to incorporate it. It doesn't represent a threat. Even though there's predators, there's prey, there's birds, there's everything, regardless the fact that they can eat one another, is still representing harmony. It's not representing any chaos. It's not representing any friction. It's representing harmony, the fact that we're all part of a huge team living together, and there can be harmony regardless the way we want to look alive. The magpie jay is huge to this region, but in our tradition is connected to the rain. In our case, without the rain, without the sun, the harvest of the corn is not possible. So here we're celebrating the fact that we live in an abundant, we're having an abundant harvest. So the ocean is Tatei Haramara, is our mother ocean, represents again like the womb, and inside the womb, you know, the two children that are part of your family. The sun represents the father, the moon represents the mother, and all over around it, the sky just represents that within the universe. In our case, we're just a grain of sand in the universe. When we look at the hummingbirds also represent the children from 0 to 5 years old, but again it's 2, representing the 2 daughters. There's also the bees that represent the animals that are in charge of spreading the seed of knowledge. In this case, this flower represents the kieri, which is a flower that is connected with wisdom on our tradition, and people that are becoming healers and need some answers, they work with this flower, and it's known as the flower of knowledge, and they're being nurtured by the knowledge of this region. It's the 3 stages of transformation, starting as a caterpillar, and then eventually turning into a butterfly. But also the bees represent ourselves as a metaphor, because we're hardworking people. We also live in community like the bees, and we are the bees are the caretakers of the queen bee. In our case, we also live in community. We work really hard, and our caretaker that we take care of, it's the earth itself. So the bees are always like a metaphor to be used in ourselves as a community. And the painting itself represents like a passport to the spiritual realm. It's believed that when we do the painting on ceremony, it allows us to be connected with the physical dimension, and also be able to see beyond what the physical dimension is, connecting directly with the spirit. In the center, it has the double-headed eagle that represents the full knowledge, male and female united in a single body again, to be able to create life. In this case, there's the union through the eagle and the two faces, fertilizing the seed of knowledge, in this case represented by the tree itself. But this flower in the center is the vanilla orchid, which is also native to this region. The iguana connected to the rain. So, as I said, I narrated the natural history of Sayulita in Nayarit, incorporating the story of my own family with 4 members. Sayulita, as the word Sayuli in Wixárika means purple corn. Ta is the place of the purple corn, so that's why you see the earth and the ocean, and Sayulita is the place of the purple corn, which is reflected right there. Yeah, so it's what I have. The seashells are from this ocean too, that I harvested. I just got some beads.
And tell me more where this is kind of where you started.
What is this eye?
That represents the sixth sense.
Because I didn't realize that these were faces, which now I'm seeing. The face.
It's. I don't know if you're aware about the pineal gland. If you ever dream, if you're a person that dreams, that means that what it's allowing you to see your dreams is that eye, because your eyes are closed. So if your eyes are closed, how can you see even though they're closed? That's activated through your pineal gland, which is known as the third eye. Whenever we dream, it's that particular eye that is allowing us to have the visions. So that represents the spiritual realm that we're not necessarily in touch as we're physically in this dimension. So through the prayer and through ceremony in our tradition, the way we're able to connect and have visions is by making usage of our third eye, literally. Her hair, she's got a gray hair because it represents our grandmother, but also has the vines that are connecting, to the soil. I don't know if you ever go out and walk in the jungle here and you actually see those vines, all over.
Yeah.
It's representing, herself and, her hair tuning, braiding into those vines. So yeah, the eye itself is like, as you can see here, it's only like green eyes, representing like the eyes through ceremony. But here you have like over different colors because it's beyond what you can see. Sometimes it's different when we have a hallucination, when we have a vision. A hallucination is something that you see that doesn't exist. When you have a vision, is when you see that a tree is alive and you see that it's breathing. If you ask any scientists or biologists, you can ask if they breathe, and they actually do. But the thing is, at least in my case, navigating through the different worlds, I'm able to see that, within this lifestyle, we're don't even take in consideration that lives, such as a tree, are very valuable to us. And they're alive, they breathe, they feel, they breathe, but they just don't communicate the same way that we do. The octopus represents a person that is able to do more than one thing. Some people have that particular capability of actually having multitasking. So it represents someone that is very, very active, but also able to do many things. The spirals, are very important. In this case, it represents our prayers, But the spirals also represent the theory of creation, because creation is infinite, and spirals have that shape. It is continuously going and infinite. But most of them, are always numbers of 4, because it represents you guys as a family.
And then what's all the stuff coming from the?
That's like the cloud, because in our tradition, the magpie jay It represents the animal that its feathers are used to call the rain. So it's kind of like answering our rain, where the cloud is it has the colors of the rainbow because the rainbows come along when the rain falls down. So all of these clouds, that's why you see that the rain is actually falling off the sky.
Ah. So much detail that you don't see initially.
In pictures,
It's amazing.
I don't.
Well, that's what we were trying to